Hello, friends, and thanks for connecting. I wanted to connect with you today on social media and what it means or could mean for you. So, this topic stemmed out from I was involved in a dialogue on a thread on LinkedIn, and what I realized as a result of the dialogue that was going on is that different people have different perceptions, understandably so, about social media. So I took it for granted in that most people appreciate what the value that social media provides. Okay, so I'll just go through the value that I've found in social media, and I also want to acknowledge that I appreciate that not everybody values social media in the same way, and not everybody has had the best of experiences. This is more about how I have chosen to use social media in order to help me build connections with like minded individuals, and also to help me in growing my online business as an entrepreneur. So you might be working in different environments, and social media might not be suitable for you, although I do believe that there's value for business owners to also be on social media. So the way I started off social media was just like everybody else. I connected in order to reconnect with some of my friends that I'd gone to university with when Facebook first came out, long lost family members who I wouldn't have also been able to connect with if it wasn't for social media. So, in that sense, I found it valuable in the beginning to connect, and it still continues to be like that. But when I decided that I wanted to create my own business, I decided to create a different profile. It's not a business profile, it's on a personal level, but in a different way. What it helped me do was I found that business cards were no longer valuable for me, because I used to carry people used to give me business cards, then I would forget who they were. So that idea dawned on me that it's better when I go to like events to connect with people on social media, especially who were like minds. I could remember their face, and I could also remember some aspects of who they were much easier in terms of how my mind works. And I also connected with some individuals on LinkedIn. So that's how I've built up my connections. So there's a distinction, obviously, on LinkedIn. People present on a more professional level. Why I like social is that there's a little bit of the social aspects with the people that I connect with, because I believe that part of building a business is also enjoying some aspects of the social connections, where you get to see people from in a different light. So what I mean by that, it's not the day-to-day updates about taking a shower, brushing your hair. That's what I hear people, oh, what the next cereal that somebody has had, or the minute by minute updates. What I enjoy about it is, if, for instance, if somebody has traveled somewhere new, they're sharing their experience and what the delight has been. So I connect with digital nomads, for instance, and I learn about some places through them. And then I also enjoy aspects where people who are like spiritual, that's another aspect of me, that there's something that I'm spiritually, I've awoken to certain things as part of like my personal development. So I like to connect on that spiritual level with like minds and to learn from them. And then there's also like the business aspect, that when somebody has gone to like an event, they've learned a few key lessons, they share. So I decided to make it a purposeful mission to connect with people who are like minded, and also decided to cut out the noise, because I believe that social media is what you make it. It's how you choose to connect, because I know that there's this concern about privacy, there's this concern about well-being and mental health, which are all serious things to take on board and to consider. That's why I'm very mindful of who I connect with. And when I connect with people, I'm keeping in mind what they post on their timeline, the type of energy that I want to connect with, and also the type of information that I want to consume. If I see that your timeline is not aligned with my core values, it includes a lot of spam, a lot of junk, I'm unlikely to connect with you. I'm more likely to connect with you if we've got similar themes, core values, and topics, and that raises like my awareness, and it also makes the world feel a lot smaller, gives me the opportunity to connect with thousands of people that I wouldn't have come across in my life if I lived in a smaller local community or a smaller world without it. So the reason why I'm giving you these ideas or discussing social media is because I believe that we're living in a new era. I also believe that social media does not need to be something that is evil or toxic. I believe that we as individuals can take ownership, look after our well-being, decide on the connections that we make, decide on how we use the two for social media in order to contribute to greater causes and positive things that bring things that are exciting for people, that add education as well, that give people some form of relief from stressful lifestyles and create a little bit of fun aspects. The last thing I'll leave you off with as well is that I tend to not spend too much time on my timeline because that can be exhausting. And this is where some people may find that they're overwhelmed. They don't find social media useful. Even when you select the people that you want to be connected with, they can be too much information overload. I am very strategic in planning my time and in how much information I consume. And also, I don't focus on just watching passively information. I'm more somebody who learns and applies things. So when I'm looking for something, it's usually because I want to learn and grow from it, and then a short limited amount of time will be spent following a few people who I believe are contributing in a great way, and then I'll also be involved in the dialogue that's going on for a short time. That helps me in knowing what are the changing needs of the people in my niche market, and it's helpful to know that because I believe that that is where the significant amount of dialogue happens. And if I was going out in my local communities or events, some of that dialogue I wouldn't be able to capture if I wasn't on social media because it would only be limited to a specific locality. I like the aspect that it is global, so I can have a global outlook and a view to connect with people as well. So let me know, how do you maximize on social media? How do you make it work best for you? And if you haven't started using it as a tool to help in adding value for you, for your business, or in connecting with like minds, let me know what the reason is. I believe that for entrepreneurship, social media is a great platform. I believe for business owners, it is also a great platform, and that without it, there would be some limitations in terms of building connections. And it's not only, what am I thinking of? Okay, this is what I'm thinking of. It's not the only two, so that's what I want to be very clear about. It's only one tool that can positively contribute to many other tools. So for instance, YouTube, LinkedIn, and also the old traditional format of meeting people offline maintains good health. That is also a plus. It is about dedicating minimal time and being wise in how you decide to use social media. as a platform. And if you need any assistance in learning more about how you can maximize on the platform to connect with like minds and to also create a platform for your business that is mainly solely focused on learning more about your clients' needs, then do feel free to connect with me, leave a comment below, or send me a private message. Happy to have a further chat with you. Bye for me for now.